Hi, welcome to Anime Brew, the cafe world one series at a time. I'm Liz,
And I'm Maddie.
and today we're joined by the gamer girl who claims both of our names.
Greetings, fellow Earthlings. So, yeah, we're back on Earth. We were in this distant planet called Japan for a little while,
Mm, yes.
but we're back. So, do we want to get started with our segment formerly known as caffeinated beverage, now called iced coffee breakers?
Yes. Finally, we have a name for the unnamed section.
Yeah, we did it. Only took like 6 months, but we're here.
Yep.
So, while we were in Japan, we um consumed a lot of caffeinated beverages, mainly
hmm
from vending machines.
Yes.
Lots
Yeah.
of vending
Lot,
machines.
lots of vending
Yep.
machines.
We basically
hmm
lived off of them, as does
We
their
did
entire
our money.
society.
Yes.
Oh, the companies, the beverages, the companies running those vending machines must be raking it in.
Honestly, yeah, I
Like,
don't I don't know how it works. I think it's like independently owned. It's definitely weird. I don't know the whole deal with them.
granted, at the same time, it was way cheaper than it is here.
hmm
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Here, if you want a Coke, I don't know, like $3,
Yeah, it was
something like that.
expensive where Coke was like 100 yen.
Yeah, which is like 60, 70 cents.
hmm
Very
So
nice.
even less than that, like close to 40 cents, I think.
Even better. Yeah,
Yeah, in conversion. Yeah, yeah, in conversions.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. So, um, Beth, you're the guest today, which is kind of funny. Um, because I podcast with you all the time. But do you wanna start with your favorite beverage off the top of your head that you had?
Sure. Um, I think definitely it was the matcha latte we got in Kyoto. Um,
Mm.
Oh,
that oh man, I that was really good.
Yeah, that was a good
And
matcha.
matcha latte that like that in the
You're
road corner. I don't know.
oh, yeah, you're talking about the one in shopping street by
Yeah.
Kyo's. I'm yeah, any coffee. I don't remember names.
It was near a shrine, yeah. I
Yeah,
forget which
yeah.
one.
oh,
Yeah,
the big
we
shopping street in Kyoto.
we got regular sweetness or whatever. Liz over here
Mm-hmm.
got the strongest one.
That's
I got the
good.
strongest one as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked it too. That's like honestly, like Kyoto is the place to go for matcha, and
hmm
it's kind of ruined me. It's not ruined me in the fact that now I've like crave matcha and I love it, but it's also ruined me because I'll never be able to have anything nearly as good as that.
Mm-mm. You won't, no.
So I'll just be depressed now. I did
Yeah,
buy some to bring home though. I did
you
bring
did.
some real matcha from Kyoto, but I can't
Right.
make it the same. I'm still learning.
Yeah, it's definitely a particular process. I'm lazy, so I just use a coffee frother. And that it's still not it doesn't taste the same, but it's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do for the time being
Mhm.
until I
Yeah.
decide to pursue being a matcha expert.
Mhm.
So, um, what about you, Liz?
Um, well, I'm used to everything here, so I don't really have.
That's
I
fair.
don't
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know if that's but during that time they did have a special with peach Coke, and it wasn't like America Georgia peach. It was like ja there's a difference between Georgia peach and Japanese peach. And so it was Coke Zero was Japanese peach and it was super good.
Yeah.
I, yeah,
Well,
I
I
like
mean,
that.
since then, I have tried it again as both regular and Coke Zero Peach in the freestyle machines. Here in the US, there's a few fast food places. I had it from Zaxby's and Five
Mm,
Guys,
okay.
and honestly, it tasted basically the same,
Mhm.
like the peach flavoring. So
Right.
I was happy about that because I thought it was really good, and I'm like, hey, I
Nice.
can have it here too. I wish I could buy it like canned or bottled from the store. But um,
Mhm.
Beth's going somewhere.
Mm.
Yeah, I was very ridiculously excited when I first went to Zaxby's like a couple weeks after getting back
Mm.
from Japan and was like, yes. Um, Peach
Yeah.
Coke. But yeah. Yeah,
Right.
that was good. Um, for me, what came to mind was I liked the tea a lot. I liked the jasmine tea a lot. Bottled that was in the vending machines. I got that quite a bit. I also
Yes.
specifically liked this type of coffee. It was a bottled. It was Georgia Latte was the
Oh yeah.
brand.
Yeah,
I
Georgia coffee's really
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. So
Uh,
I
Boss coffee is also really good. I can't really decide between the two. I think Boss has better black. Or no, Georgia has better black coffee.
I had well, Boss was the black coffee that I had.
Right.
Georgia, I had the sweeter coffee, which I I personally significantly prefer. Although
Right.
my taste buds are slowly improving because since then I've had you know how you can get like those glass jar Starbucks
Mhm.
frappe drinks? Yeah,
Right.
I used to like down those. I used to love them
Those are
so much.
sweet.
I know. But since then, I've had one um and I tried it and I was like, "Oh, I'm drinking sugar right now. This is great. This is crazy." I was like, "I can't do
Yeah.
how did I used to drink these in like 2 seconds?" So,
Right.
my taste buds are becoming more accustomed to coffee, which
Mm.
is probably good. Also, matcha's more bitter in a way too, so
Mhm.
yeah. Although
Yeah.
it has been funny, I got some matcha Kit Kats on the topic of matcha, and
Right.
I've been making different people try them just for my own personal entertainment. And
Right. Yeah.
it's so funny. Like I know many people that have never had matcha in their life, and it's so funny how some are like, this is the grossest thing I've ever had, and others are like, this is incredible.
Right. Yeah.
But the people I know that liked it right off the bat were already like tea drinkers or green tea drinkers in
Hmm.
general. So it makes sense as
Right.
opposed to the people that don't, not really tea drinkers. So there you go. Your taste buds
Yeah, yeah.
adapted or
Yeah,
not.
to me, matcha Kit Kats just taste like white chocolate. They're not strong enough. And you can actually find different matcha Kit Kats. Like there's a matcha latte and
Yeah.
there's actual dark matcha.
And
Even
I
the
had
dark
both.
matcha is still right. And even the dark matcha isn't matcha enough for me. And
Okay.
I find that a lot with a lot of the matcha stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I want more. I want to taste grass. Yeah.
Well,
What about you,
it's
Beth?
yeah, what about you?
Well, yeah, I have not tasted my matcha Kit Kats yet. I just totally forgot about them. So I've only tried the sake Kit Kat, which that was interesting to say the least. Um,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I still need to try the matcha ones.
The sake ones are probably my least favorite. They are very strange, and the smell is not great.
Yeah.
I still haven't tried them yet. I want to try them, but I haven't yet.
That's another one I
Oh,
forced people to try.
hmm.
Fun.
On the topic of nuts, though, I was at the store and they have a new one. It's apple pie, and it's for the fall. Or it's either apple pie. It's a Japanese one, but it's apple pie flavored, and it's all decked out for Halloween. I'm probably going to get it one of these days and have a taste test.
I was I was at H Mart recently, and they had a bunch of the same flavored Kit Kats I got in Japan, but it was like
Hmm.
$6 a bag.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's like, oh no.
Mm.
$6 for a bag of Kit Kats. I don't know if I can do that. So I didn't get
Yeah,
any.
no.
I couldn't justify that.
Mm-mm. I really
I'd
can't.
I'd I'd rather fly to Japan and then like stuff them in a suitcase.
Right,
Much more
yes,
cost efficient.
Hmm.
definitely. Probably still more cost efficient just to send like a care package, even with
Yeah,
shipping.
I could just pay you to buy some Kit Kats for me
Hmm.
and mail them.
With Sarako instead of Sakurako. The Japanese sponsor sends a whole bunch of
Yeah.
different Japanese candies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just start
So
your
Beth,
own business for Radio Chaos.
yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. So what was your soda, Beth?
Ooh. Soda wise, I really
Or
liked the ginger ale.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
there, but
Yeah. I didn't mean sodas in particular, but your drink. As we went
oh,
back to Kit Kats.
oh yeah. Um, I s- um, I really like the guava juice a lot too, which
Mm, yeah.
is a big thing. I'm a big guava juice fan, so I was excited about that, and I really like it
Right.
from the vending machines in Oki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's nice.
What I also liked was the little boba drinks in the convenience stores.
That's right. Yeah, those boba drinks are really good.
Yeah,
But like you can't tell if it's a cheap quality or a meh quality. It's a very good boba.
yeah. All the ones I had, I really liked.
Hmm. Yeah, the convenience store drinks are interesting because there's normal soda pops and stuff, but then there's like the convenience store sealed stuff. Like I've had boba, I had lemonade with is in it. I had this weird with candy in it, and it's like little fireworks, and this was during matcha season in August.
Oh wow. Yes, there was something. Now I can't remember. There was something I was going to bring up, and now I completely forgot. So I'll just hope it comes back to me later. Um,
Yeah.
Pop Rocks Boba.
do we want to go to the listener questions?
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay. So we have some beverage related listener questions. First one being from Chrono Cringe. Do you consider energy drinks as soda? And why are energy drinks okay to drink at 7 a.m. but not sodas? So, what are y'all's
Hmm.
thoughts on first, are energy drinks soda or are they something different?
Yes, but they're like in their own category, like bubbly water. It's it's carbonated soda, but it's not soda. It's like it's its own subcategory, and like not all energy drinks are are carbonated. I think
Well,
what mm?
aren't bubbly sparkling water?
Yeah, sparkling waters, my bad.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I called it.
yeah. So there's a few there's energy drinks that are sparkling water. There's energy drinks that are not sparkling water.
Hmm.
And then there's soda, which so I guess the underlying difference is the base, like carbonated water. But
Right,
but like the standard energy drinks like Monsters
right.
are, I would say, I guess, created more like a soda.
Hmm.
I
Right,
feel that it's not a soda unless it's carbonated.
right. That was my point about the carbonated waters. It's
Right.
like it's not a so like that's the
But soda
thing.
water.
Right.
So but
But
carbonated water is carbonated.
right.
Which
I don't know.
carbonated
I'm
water is also called soda water.
true.
So it is soda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose. So I guess that's the one argument, but also I also think it's the caffeine levels. Like Coke doesn't have as much caffeine as like a Monster would.
Yeah, not even close. So,
Plus, energy drinks usually have a lot of other stuff in it, like added
mhm.
vitamins and so on and so forth. It's like,
Yeah, and soda, I think, I mean that's not always the case, but I would say for the most part, soda for the size, like the amount of like sugar and stuff in it's usually a lot higher
mm-hmm,
relative to the amount of what you're drinking. And
right,
so that's another reason like I to like answer why are energy drinks okay at 7 a.m. but not soda. So energy drinks have way more caffeine, so they're serving the purpose
mm-hmm,
of waking you up more than a soda would. But a soda also,
right,
I don't know if I start my day with a Dr. Pepper, I that's like spiking your blood sugar with like tons of sugar just like
right, right in the
right off the
morning.
bat, and I feel like that is not the best way to go.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no.
So
And like energy drinks are still not okay to drink in the morning. Like you really should not be
there's
drink-
yeah.
drinking so many chemicals and stuff.
I think what he means by this question is more like, why is it socially acceptable? Because
Oh,
both
right.
are not really healthy for you. I mean, I don't know. He could be in
Mm-mm.
that way as well. But I think the idea is like, why is it socially acceptable to have a Monster when you're walking into work at 7 a.m., but not
But not the
a
other way
Sprite?
around. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah,
Mm.
because people like caffeine. and
Yeah.
and it's an okay alternative if you don't like coffee
Mm-hmm.
or matcha or tea or something
Whatever.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Not really,
Mm-mm.
no.
Okay. Well, next Chrono asks, how many buckets of tea and coffee did you drink while in Japan? What did they taste like, and were they better than American drinks? So I love the visualization of buckets. Like, I just imagine, like, we just had these huge, like, just huge buckets, or just like pouring it
Right.
down our face. Um,
I,
I
I mean, the amount of stuff that we got from the vending machines would probably equivalent to it, though.
I mean, I'm concerned if these people ever drink water. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Not
a
wrong.
lot of a lot of vending machines don't even have water at all, or if they do,
Or
it's
they,
like a little
Mm-mm.
tiny one.
or it's just like one.
Yeah. The closest thing to
Yeah.
water is Pocari Sweat,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
which
that
is
has
like,
sugar.
yeah,
A
that's
sports
like
drink.
Gatorade.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, yeah, for people that don't know, a Pocari Sweat, and I think there was another one, I can't remember what it's called.
Aquarius.
Aquarius. And they're clear, so they kind of look like water. They look like water if it was like has stuff in it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, but yeah, I would say it's very comparable to I don't know what flavor of Gatorade I would say it. I don't know, but it's kind of like a Gatorade or Powerade.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Um. So yeah. Back to the question. Uh. Yeah. Maybe a bucket per day. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was not really drinking water very
Like
much.
a
Mm-mm.
5-gallon bucket, that you get at Home Depot or Lowe's per day, to be
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, and for the visualization, we would get a coffee and like an iced tea from the vending machines in the morning.
Hmm.
Then one during lunch, then the same during lunch, same during afternoon, then a tea at dinner.
Yeah.
As as we probably had buckets full every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a ton of soda though. That's a little
Mm-mm.
rarer to come by.
Yeah.
You can usually find Coke or Sprite sometimes
Mm-hmm.
in a vending machine, but um tea and coffee's definitely a lot
The
more
the main idea.
frequent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and were they better than American drinks?
Definitely,
100%
yes.
yes.
Yes. I
The
would
coffee
say,
alone was so much better.
yeah, I would say the coffee's better. The tea, so much better. The soda, yes. The
Mm-hmm.
the the Coke, just without the fructose corn syrup or whatever, and actually using real sugar.
Sugar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
much better.
Yeah.
Which Japan's not unique for that, but
It's just anywhere but America uses cane sugar. It's a very American thing to use high fructose corn syrup.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's go to our last beverage question from Octosilk. What was your favorite fruity soda in Japan?
Oh, I only
Probably the
drank
peach
one.
soda.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one.
Peach Coca-Cola.
Well,
Oh
there
no,
was
there
the
was the
other
peach
peach.
soda.
There was the actual peach soda, remember, at the first shrine
Oh,
we went to?
yes. That was really good. That's probably
And it was
my
like
favorite.
actually pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was good. I like that soda.
I'm looking for yeah.
Another one that comes to mind for me is CC Lemon, which is
Oh yeah.
it's like Sprite but stronger, I would say.
Yeah, it's like lemonade and like a strong, strong Minute Maid lemonade.
Yeah,
I don't, I don't
but
know how
it's
to describe
carbonated.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Itawin melting peach soda. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. CC Lemon's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, CC lemon, yeah, also.
Yeah.
Well, any other thoughts?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
All right. Then let's move on to our next segment. What have you been binging?
Mm.
So, Beth, are there any anime you've been watching that you want to shout out?
Well, I started Zom 100. I was inspired.
Yay!
Because I saw it on
Good.
Disney Plus. And was like, you have this with Hulu. So clearly, Zom 100 was added to Hulu recently. So I
Mm-hmm.
went and checked it out. I'm liking it so far. Also, I ended up starting Demon Slayer. I watched the
Good.
first episode. I knew what was coming, and yet it was still like, oh man. But
The first episode is the first episode. It's
the first
it's nothing
episode, I knew
compared.
what was coming, and yet it was still so traumatizing.
That show is traumatizing. Watch the movie.
Okay.
You'll like no.
I also
You know, you
contin-
know.
I also continued with My Hero, so I've been enjoying that. But oh no, I think oh, also I started Oshinoko.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I am enjoying
That's a good
that.
one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oshinoko is such a good one, and I can't wait for the newer seasons to come out.
you're ahead of me. I haven't seen Demon Slayer or Oshinoko.
Yeah, and I keep on telling you you need to.
I
Maybe you'll
know.
get fired. Replace you for Sky Boy.
Oh no. Well, what about you, Liz?
Not much. I've been watching Jujutsu. Um, that's a good one. It's a long one. It used to be one season, and I was intending on watching Jujutsu Kaisen when it was only one season. Now it's like two and two movies, and I need to
Well,
catch up.
you wanna know something? I'm also watching that for reasons. And so
Nice.
I was I was telling my roommate about it. And then she goes and watches the whole first season in 2 days.
What?
Yeah. So
No.
she
What have you?
Yeah,
What
and
have you
we're
created?
I don't know, I'm scared. I was like I was like, okay, yeah, you can watch season 1 and then we can watch season 2 together. It's okay. And then now she's waiting on me because she already finished season 1. Um, yeah. Anyway, I thought that was
Created.
funny. I was scared. I know. And then I was telling her about like I was like, "Oh, well, maybe you really are into shonen because she watched all of My Hero recently as well." And I was like joking like, "Oh, you should watch Naruto or One Piece, I guess." And she was like, "Oh, how long is that?" or whatever. And I was like, "Well, I was pulling up how long One Piece was and was like and I looked, and if you watch 8 hours a day, you can get through the show in 56 days." And she was like, if I was really committed, like I could do that in a summer. And I was like, girl, no. This is
Watch,
supposed to
watch.
de-incentivize you. And this is supposed to de-incentivize you to watch the show. But this is just this. I'm creating a challenge in her mind of can she watch all of One Piece? And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. Stop. No.
Wa- Watch her do it though. I bet
I
you
know.
she'll do it.
I know, and I told her she hasn't even guessed it, and she's gonna take my spot on this podcast if she does it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, that was my
Hmm.
my side story. Anything else you've been watching?
Mm, not really. Somebody's also out for my job. I'm failing as reviewing anime.
Gonna take over this podcast too, I guess.
Hmm.
Ah, help. um. Well, don't worry because I'm here. I've
Hmm.
watched some anime since last
Good.
episode. So, I've also been, like I said, watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I've also have watched a different show that we will bring up at the end of the episode. So, suspense. You have to
Hmm.
wait to find out what that is. Um, I finished Fruits Basket before recording last episode. I had finished season 2, and since then I have watched season 3, and I must say I liked it significantly more. Like I
Hmm.
really liked how that show wrapped up, and it
I know,
really
it's so
changed my
good.
opinion. It changed a lot of my
Hmm.
opinion of the show. I
Yeah.
like this is a must watch now. Like my before I was like,
Hmm.
this is kind of all over the place. It's kind of it like I liked a lot about the first season, and it had a lot of the funny slice of life aspects along with the story. Season
Hmm.
2 felt like it dragged out a lot of the
Right.
side stories, although I looking back, it was necessary for character development. So
Hmm.
I'm okay with it, but it felt long anyway. But then season 3, it just put a little bow on everything in that show. It's
It did.
fantastic. I
Yeah.
I love this show now a lot.
Mhm.
So, very happy that I
Yeah.
stuck it out and finished Fruits Basket. The
Yeah.
other
You need to
thing,
watch the prequel.
I forgot about that. Yes, I do. Totally forgot about that. Next, this was a fun one. I was hanging out with a couple friends and we watched the entirety of Romantic Killer in one sitting.
What? Dang.
Yeah, which was 4 hours, I think, 12 episodes. Um
Dang.
and I think I loved it just as much on the second watch. It had been maybe a year, maybe 2 years. I don't remember how long since the show
Hmm.
came out. It's just funny. It's just
It
I
is.
just I just eat this kind of stuff up. I really do. Um
Yes.
it yeah,
Yeah, it's so good.
it's great. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. So highly
Hmm.
recommend. Last thing, super random. I was hanging out with my cousin who is a huge anime watcher, and he was doing this whole back in my day, and I'm like, I'm sorry that I only got into anime like 5 years ago, so I have not seen anything like older than the 2000s probably when it comes
Yeah.
to anime. So, but he was like, I'm gonna show you this show that was my favorite ever. It's called Trigun. And
Hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's
Mm-mm.
from actually don't know. It's like it's from the 90s, I believe. And it's a western, which is very interesting as an anime. It is
Interesting.
very much a western, and we watched an episode. We watched a random, not random, but it was like episode 4. I'm not sure why we watched episode 4. He was
Huh.
talking about it and then just wanted to show me what it was, and um yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know. If you're interested in anime that's a western, that exists, and there you go. And it's kind of funny.
Right.
And
Hmm.
very out there. You can definitely tell that it's older.
Right.
And save yourself and don't watch the dub because we watched it subbed, but it like automatically started as dubbed. And we were like, "Oh no, save us." It was painful. Just 2 seconds of
Mhm.
the girl's voice was like, "Ah, no."
No.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm curious, listeners, if any of you have seen Trigun, let me know. I'm curious. But yeah, that's all.
Mm.
So are we ready to get into? Oh, you know what? I actually forgot to put it in the notes, for some reason. But I was thinking, do we want to talk about the Ghibli Museum and stores before the movie
Um.
or after?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
Um.
I totally forgot to put that in the show notes. So
And I'm
let's just
totally
get.
forgetting how much we discussed on Gamer Girls.
We
We
did
just
not. We did not talk about the Ghibli
Yeah,
Museum
we
or the
did not
Ghibli
discuss the
stores.
Ghibli Museum at all.
Yeah. Did we talk about the anime stuff? Yeah, we did.
We did a little bit. We talked about the store.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were gonna save most of it till this episode, though.
Okay. Then yeah, let's discuss the Ghibli stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, let's talk about the extremely competitive to book tickets Studio
Oh
Ghibli
goodness.
Museum. And
Not the
if you,
PTSD.
oh
No.
man, it was like a month in advance. We got in a
Uh-huh.
queue. That was
We had
fun.
like 10 devices open, and only one of ours we
Yeah.
were able to get it.
I was at a baseball game and my
Mhm.
device was the one way ahead the rest of y'all, and it was the middle of a baseball game, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I had to call Liz, and then it was loud, and then right as I'm trying to talk to her, the team gets a home run, and it's just like the first and only home run of the game, by the way.
Mhm.
And it's so loud, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and we're freaking out. Are we gonna get it? But we did get it. So
We
we
did.
lived to tell the tale.
Mhm.
But you only have our word to take from this museum because photography is not allowed
Not allowed.
inside.
Yeah.
So all you
Which is
have,
such a shame.
it really is. It's not very big, honestly, but there is
Mhm.
a quite a bit crammed in to a pretty small
Yeah.
space.
Mhm.
So, yeah, let's just, I guess, rehash it a bit. So,
Right.
the first area that we went into, a lot of the museum kind of focused on the animation process in general.
Yeah,
And
and this is like the OG process, so like the clay cells. Like it showed you how to do every little piece of it. It was definitely interesting seeing the OG version of how you're supposed to do stuff.
yeah, so there were a lot of rough sketches from
Mhm.
Ghibli movies, which is very cool. And seeing like all the different frames, and there was even a little like old school like film reader that it was like you
Mhm.
like cranked it and then you looked in and then you could like see the animation
Yeah.
like in its rawest form basically.
Mhm.
Um so there were a few rooms focusing on that. They also just made the area of the entire museum look like it was in like a Ghibli movie.
Mhm.
Or I think the room where most of the sketches were was that based on actual Miyazaki's
Office
office.
area. And it's like it was frozen in time, like the amount of details was insane. Like there was a little
Yeah.
pencil glued to the table or eraser marks and stuff. It was completely frozen in time. Like it was almost
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah. And there were like cell frames just like on the walls everywhere.
Mhm.
Um yeah, a lot of it framed. Um but they did a fantastic job with
It
presentation.
did. Mhm.
And it was like overload because there was different stuff to look at in every little nook and cranny.
It was. And they had an exhibition room with Boy and the Heron concept art.
Mhm.
That was that was cool.
Yeah, that was
And
like it was like this big room and it was
mhm.
like the start and it was like the beginning to end of the movie basically. Like
Yeah.
rough sketches like all throughout the room.
Mhm. I found it so cool just to see how they would draw out the light and these were just the sketches and it was so detailed. It was very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Another part that was a personal highlight for me was in the kids area. There was a life-sized cat bus. There was like a little kids playground that had it
Mhm.
was fluffy and just this huge cat bus, and we could not go play in it because it was for kids and adults were not allowed, which was devastating.
Oh.
But
Mhm.
but we got to touch it. We got to pet the cat bus. And it was as fluffy as it looked. So at
Yes.
least there's that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
That
wish I
was
could have taken it
nice.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine putting that on a plane. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And they also had a movie, like a short movie,
yeah, so there was
and
a little theater room that played this unique movie that you can only watch. It's like 20 minutes long. You can only watch it if you're there. But it was interesting.
yeah, it was a fever dream for sure.
It
I
was
s- don't understand what it was about. It was completely in Japanese, no
Uh,
subtitles.
yeah, there
But
no not even English Honestly, I was very surprised they didn't even have English subtitles.
I
Yeah.
know. And it was very, it wasn't not, um, English friendly, but it wasn't English friendly either. Like the museum in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah, I mean, there was really no like reading required for the
Mm-mm.
most
Yeah.
part. Um, so it wasn't too much of a problem, I don't think. But for that mini movie, all I remember is there's this kid, and then there's what were they, pigs?
It was
Or
like
those?
a frog
Oh
and
yeah, a frog and
something else.
I don't remember. I just
I don't
remember
even.
that the Spirited Away heads were in the background.
Yeah, but the premise was like there was like this like planet that this kid got, like it was a tiny planet and
Yeah.
he was growing it
It's
and
called The Day I Bought a Planet.
oh,
Yeah.
so the kid bought a planet from these
Yes.
two mysterious creatures and there's something going on like with his mom or something. There's like a sad scene towards the end, but I don't know why it's sad. But there
Yeah.
was sad music and they were like hugging or something, but
Yeah.
um I mean the animation was great. It was everything you could have wanted from Ghibli, but I didn't know what was happening.
Hmm.
So, it was like 20 or 30 minutes of confusion.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately. It
The
was cool
the
to see,
yeah,
but yeah.
another thing there was the gift shop.
Hmm.
There there was a main gift shop and there was a like a book store or
Bookstore.
manga store. Yeah. Um and they were it was very the boy and the heron focused in the
It
gift
was.
store, understandably.
Yeah. Hmm.
So quite a bit of merch
Yeah.
for that. A lot of little plushies of the little white
Hmm.
guys,
Yeah.
which Liz, you got one of those, didn't you?
Yeah. I got one of the
Yeah.
marshmallow doodads. Yeah.
Yeah.
My only disappointment was it was very Totoro themed in the gift shop. Like I
Yeah.
wanted some House Moving Castle merch. I wanted like Laputa and so many other things, but it was just like My Neighbor Totoro,
Yeah.
and that was a little bit of a disappointment. But it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. The
Hmm.
bookstore had a little bit more variety.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, it
had
did. Like you go.
oh, I was just gonna say it had manga for multiple of the Ghibli movies. It had
Hmm.
art books, which Liz, you got the House Moving Castle art book, right? And the
Yeah,
manga?
and the manga.
Yeah. And then
I just
Beth,
I just bought the art book.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the My Neighbor Totoro manga.
Mm.
So, yeah. Um yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think of anything else from the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
overall,
it was
very
very good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good. I'd highly recommend checking it out if you're even a
Hmm.
little bit of a fan of Ghibli. Like even if you're not, if I could take my family there, like I still think they would find it interesting because of all the stuff about the animation process in general.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, highly recommend.
Mhm.
Speaking of Studio Ghibli, we also went to a couple different Studio Ghibli stores.
Mhm.
So there was actually the very first place we went to. It feels like within minutes after we landed. We
Because it was.
yeah. We see you and then we and then we bolt towards that store.
We did.
Uh,
So in the airport, there's a whole mall inside of the airport. So like they had the Ghibli store.
and it was a good
And
Ghibli store.
it was, yeah. It was probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, it had
It,
a life-size Totoro, I believe.
mhm,
Yeah. And then
yeah.
I also liked throughout the store there were TVs playing different Ghibli movies. And then it
Hmm.
was also just very like green and decorated in a Ghibli kind of way. And
Yeah, completely.
there was merch for tons of a lot of the different Ghibli movies, like better selection, I would
Hmm.
say, than the
Yeah,
Ghibli Museum store.
100%. All the actual stores were better than the gift shop in the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then trying to think of where else we went.
There was the other Ghibli store. I don't remember where it was exactly. Was it in Tokyo?
There was one in Tokyo Station that we went to,
What
and
was the one?
that was a smaller one, but it was cute. And we went to the one in Kyoto on the shopping street.
I think that one was my favorite. 'Cause wasn't that the one
Yeah.
that it's like garden themed?
And it's off the main road, and like you're going through like a little Ghibli forest. It's very immersive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still my favorite.
Yeah. That one
I know,
was very cool.
I know, yeah, and it was raining that day, so we bought Ghibli towels to dry off.
Yeah. Yeah. I I also got a Totoro hand towel
Hmm.
for my bathroom. So I have a Totoro hand towel and I also have an Animal Crossing one from the Nintendo store. So
Nice.
along with of course the Quaxley bath mat.
Yeah.
Yes, can't forget that.
It's so beautiful.
Hmm.
Justin.
But yeah, um I'll have to um I'll have to post some pictures in Discord after
Hmm.
maybe after the episode. The other thing I got, I believe that was from that Ghibli store, was it was like a mini scroll. That
Oh
was
yeah, that's right.
Totoro. Yeah. So I also have that displayed like on my desk.
Mm.
It's like hanging like I have a tall desk shelf, and so I have it
Hmm.
like draped like over it, and it looks really cool.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, but
Hmm.
yeah, that store very good.
Yeah. I found it a little bit overpriced compared to the Pokemon Center. Like, I didn't buy as much from the Ghibli store.
Yeah.
I didn't, the prices didn't feel right for what I was buying for most of it.
Yeah, but in my mind, like the only other place like that, like in the States that I've seen that I can buy Ghibli stuff besides like ordering online through Etsy is Hot Topic.
Hmm.
And oh man, it's expensive in Hot Topic. It's like
Right.
30 $30 for a shirt. I was there recently. They had some House Moving Castle earrings that were very cool.
Oh,
I don't remember how much they were. I didn't end up getting them. But
hmm.
but Hot Topic's been stepping up their game lately, I will say. But unfortunately the prices are also going up. So I think
Right.
um but also the selection of items is just different in general too. 'Cause like Hot Topic's obviously a little bit more clothes focused, like shirts, like jackets, socks, earrings, so all that kind of Ghibli stuff. But at the actual like Ghibli stores, there's a lot more like keychains, towels, hand towels,
Right. Yeah.
little gotcha things. There's a tons
Hmm.
of those. I did get a little I can't reach it from here. I'd show you guys, but I did get a little Totoro like I can't remember what it's called, but they're like egg shaped.
Oh, the Dariyama type things. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um anyway, so the kind of stuff's also just different in
Right.
general
Yeah.
from what you'd find in the States.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other thoughts about the Ghibli store?
Mm, Beth?
I thought the Ghibli stores were cool. I liked them.
Mhm.
But I liked all the Totoros a lot.
Yeah, the
Totoro's
Totoro's pretty
definitely
cool.
the mascot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Lots of
100%.
Totoro. Which is a
Hmm.
big reason why we chose to talk about My Neighbor Totoro today.
Yeah.
So, um, so, so while we're on the Ghibli theme, do we want to talk about My Neighbor Totoro now and then
Yeah.
get to the rest of the anime stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about the actual topic of the episode.
Okay. Okay. Well, as you heard, we are discussing My Neighbor Totoro. So,
Hmm.
as usual, we're gonna start with the story here. So, yeah, and spoiler warning, of course. You should watch just watch the movie, please. It's
Yes, watch
fantastic.
it. It's so
It's
cute.
it's great. It's not the first Ghibli movie I ever saw, 'cause you made me watch
Mm-mm.
House Moving Castle, but
Right.
I've got to say this is my favorite Ghibli movie. The more I
Hmm.
watch it, the more that is solidified in my mind personally. This is like this is like my comfort blanket movie.
It is, yes.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just fun. It's just so cozy. I love the opening scenes of the movie. I love
It
when they're
is.
going down the truck, down the countryside. This movie's
Hmm.
or actually, let's rewind even before that. I love the intro of this movie. I love the song that plays. In English, it's the "Hey, let's go." Um,
Oh, yeah.
I love
Right.
that song. It's a little orange screen and the little characters, and they're like marching to the beat of the song.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
and it was cute. Yeah.
that's so yeah, yeah. Um, and then right away you just see like this movie's just absolutely beautiful. They're moving to this home. They're driving along the countryside. And
Mhm.
again, the soundtrack just does so much for it as well. I know um in past episodes we've kind of been like about the soundtracks sometimes, but
Right.
I I mean every Ghibli movie
Hmm.
soundtrack is fantastic, but I
So
I
good.
really love it, and we'll get there, of course. But
Hmm.
I just think the way this movie opens is just so good. And then
Yeah.
my personal, I think my favorite part of the movie is when they first get to the house and
Yes.
the girls are running around. Uh, it's
Hmm.
just so well done.
It
They're
is.
just laughing and giggling, and the way that they're running, like the animation is just, it just, it just, it. I can't speak. It captures just their like childish wonder and happiness,
100%. Yes.
and it
Yeah.
just does it so well. And
Hmm.
it just puts every time I watch it, it just puts a smile on my face. It really does.
Yes, it does.
So,
Yeah.
and then the dad is such a great character, and you
He
know,
is.
they're like, there's a whole thing about the house being haunted, and oh, I've always wanted to live in a haunted house because there's
The
um
suit spirits.
the suit spirits. Um yeah. So
Hmm.
I the opening of this movie,
Super cute.
so cute. Um
Yes.
so um yeah, the movie, it really opens up pretty lighthearted. You
It
don't
does.
really learn about the stuff going on with their mom
Right.
until a little bit later. I
Yeah.
like there's comments that are hinted at it later about her being in the hospital. Um
Hmm.
but at first you don't really know. Um
Yeah.
then there we don't have to, you know, go point by point through the entire
Yeah, no.
movie. We can just hit the
Go.
highlights or we'd be
Right.
here all day.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say, but yeah, I just wanted
Yeah.
to
Talk about the beginning.
the beginning
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Cause
And
cause yeah, go ahead.
yeah. And I agree, the beginning part is probably one of the best parts. Like the plot is just there's there's a plot, but it's like such a fast moving, but I don't know how to explain it. It's just cute and it's fluffy. And that's really just the plot of it.
Yeah, I think the animation does a lot of the heavy lifting here.
It does, yes. It's like I can't
Uh,
really think of the major points of the plot because it's just cute and fluffy.
yeah,
And I just sort of,
you're just watching a
yeah,
painting.
you are basically.
And um yeah, so May goes on her little journey. She's just
Hmm.
exploring. A lot of this movie is just like it's from,
Exploration.
that exploration, that childish wonder is just really a big part of the movie the whole time. And
Hmm.
she's exploring and she finds Totoro, which is another fantastic scene when she just like lands on him while he's sleeping.
Yes, that part is so cute, and I can just see the whole forest scene in my mind. It's so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then you're introduced to Totoro and he's just this like gentle giant. But
Yes.
then later you find out like, oh, like what's her name? Satsuke, right? Uh
Satsuki. Yeah.
Satsuke and her dad go looking for Mei, and
Hmm.
then the little secret area where Totoro was isn't there
Right.
anymore. So then you find out
Yeah.
like Totoro is kind of this like mythical creature that
Hmm.
only shows himself at certain times,
Right.
which kind of builds up like curiosity for like what's going on with Totoro. How does Totoro play into all of this with them starting their life here? They're going to school. We know that their mom is in the hospital. Um, and like it's very loose, like you were saying. So
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of it, it just kind of goes along. Um, and they don't see Totoro for a while after that first scene. I don't think. I don't think they see Totoro again until the umbrella in the rain.
Right, that's correct. And that
Yeah.
that part's funny, just watching him with the little leaf umbrella and the
Yeah.
water dripping
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah. So so yeah, that was very cute. The scene with them like growing the forest at night or whatever,
Mhm.
they're like doing that dance around the garden and
Oh,
then
that's
all
right,
the
yeah.
trees grow. That that scene is crazy to me every time I watch it. I'm like, what the heck? The trees are just like going up like this and it's like um I recently watched the movie with my family and I remember when that scene started I was like, y'all better prepare yourself cuz this is one of the most Ghibli things you'll ever see. Like, what
Yeah,
the
it's
heck? And then they're flying, they like latch onto Totoro and they're like flying around. It's like I remember watching the movie for the first time and being like, what just happened?
what in Mary Poppins is this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I rem yeah, this is it's such a good it's like it's the mind of a child, this movie is basically.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
so cute.
it's funny because they wake up the next morning and it's like obviously that was like it wasn't a dream because the seeds did sprout. So something
Right.
happened, but it's like in their mind for the most part. But it's kind of
Yeah.
open to interpretation at the same time because it's like,
And
but
it's
something
a Ghibli
happened.
ending. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
the typical Ghibli ending.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the movie does take on in the story, it does get a little more serious towards the end
Mhm.
because they it starts to get a little more real with their mom
Right.
and they you know they don't know when she's coming back. It's not really explicitly stated what her health condition was or like what was wrong with her.
Mhm.
And I think that's intentional because maybe to be relatable for viewers like that have had
Yeah.
to deal with any situation of a loved one in the hospital or
Right.
being ill. So I think they left it unstated on purpose because of
Right,
that.
yeah.
But then
Mhm.
the movie does a really good job tackling, their like this like it was lighthearted, but this is a real challenging thing.
A
Like
real thing, yes.
they don't know when they're going to see their mom again, and that's like
Mhm.
really sad. Um
It is,
and
yeah.
May being like how old is she? Like 4,
3 or something young.
3, 4, yeah. She has a breakdown and decides to run away. They were growing stuff with
Mhm.
this not their grandmother, but she was like a grandmother figure basically.
Yeah, like a
throughout the
nanny
movie.
type. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Um and May's like, I grew this, or she picked a, what was it, corn, I think. She's
I
like,
think, yeah.
yeah. She's like, this is gonna heal my mom. And she runs off. And
Oh,
then, yeah. And then Satsuki and the others, there's this whole search mission for them. And then that's when you know, like that's when Totoro and the cat bus come along, I
right,
think.
yeah. No,
To
that was
help.
the rain scene.
Oh, that was a rain scene.
I don't know.
I th- mm,
I fell asleep when we were watching it. It was-
I've watched it again since. But I still like the scenes, it's okay. It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Hmm.
It kind of blends together, but the idea is that, Totoro was there for them. And
Yeah.
cuz they ride the cat bus to go, they get to go spy on their dad visiting their mom at the end of the
Hmm.
movie, which was
Right.
also very sweet. Um
Also very sad, but yeah.
Also very, yeah, cuz their mom's still in the hospital.
Right.
But it's implied that it's going to get better.
Right, yeah.
And so it's not totally sad, but it is very bittersweet.
It
Um
is.
but yeah, overall I think the story did a fantastic job um
It did.
uh balancing that.
Yeah.
Um and also it's just, there's just a lot of parts that are just like, it's just not funny, but kind of. It just brings a smile to your face. Like mainly May.
Yeah.
May is just perfect.
So
God,
cute.
she's my favorite. She's
Yeah,
so adorable. One
she's like a cute little baby toddler.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts is when she comes to Satsuke's school.
Oh
And the
yeah.
teacher's like, oh, let me make an exception. I guess we'll have to make an exception for her. And then they give her
Hmm.
crayons. And she has the biggest smile on her face while she's like drawing with the crayon. And it was like, it just felt so accurate
Hmm.
for how a kid her age would act. Um,
Right.
and then, um, I'd, I don't know, this might be a little more relatable for Beth, but there's some parts that you can kind of see how, Satsuki being the big older sister,
Yeah.
and May like mimicking her all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, those parts were really special for me because looking, I was like, yep. And my sisters were just like looking, I'm like, that's how you act. And they're like, no. I'm like, yes. That's one, that's perfect. But I don't know. I thought it was cute though, because it is true though, whether I don't know, at least most of the time, if not all the time, as the older sibling, you get um copied and everything. But
Right.
it's kind of sweet sometimes. Sometimes it's super annoying. Um, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
to kind of go along with talking about the story, I threw in a listener question that we got from Octosilk.
Hmm.
He said, rate the cuteness factor of Totoro on a scale from 1 to 57.
Why 57?
You tell me.
Uh,
I have
yeah.
no idea. I don't know if this is a reference to something or just um
Yeah.
Octoboy being Octoboy, but yeah.
Right.
there was some controversy in the Discord. Some people don't don't think Totoro is cute
What?
or
It's
just
so
think he's
cute.
weird. And I get that he has this big grin on his face
Little creepy
multiple times.
sometimes.
It could
I
look
think
creepy.
I think that part's cute though.
I think it's a little creepy at times.
I think
It's cute.
I think the first time I watched the movie, I thought I was a little like, okay. But now that
Right.
I've seen it multiple times and I've seen all the other Ghibli movies, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
sensitized to feeling weirded out at all by Totoro's smile because
True,
it's
true.
Totoro and he's great and you know what? By the way, Chrono, if you're listening, because I think Chrono was one of the people bashing on Totoro as well. You love Snorlax so much. You know who Snorlax is based off of?
Totoro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say
I don't know.
57.
Snorlax is a little creepy sometimes. I'm just saying.
Eh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I mean, I don't know. But if 57 is the cutest thing I've ever seen, I wouldn't give it 57. I'm gonna say 50.
Yeah, that's a good scale. Uh, Definitely not the cutest thing I've seen. I think Ponyo's a little bit cuter.
Yeah.
So I'll give it like a 40.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Beth?
I would give it a 2.
What?
I'm kidding. I'd give Totoro a 34.
Okay.
He's a
Okay.
little creepy. Like, would I want to wake up to him staring at me? No, no, I would not.
Right.
A
I
pure
will say
57 is someone that I will not be absolutely terrified if I wake up and they're staring at me.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 57 is like a golden retriever puppy.
Right.
Or I don't know. That was the first thing that came to mind.
Or my cat.
Um yeah, a really cute cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um I will say I think what I think's cuter than Totoro are the other two little guys. The
Oh,
little
the mini
medium
the baby
sized. Yeah, the
and
baby
the baby
Totoros.
Totoro.
Like the blue
Mm-hmm.
one and then there's a little white one.
Right. Yeah.
So I
Agreed.
yeah. Yeah, those guys were really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um.
anything else about the story you want to
Mm-mm.
mention? Okay.
You pretty much covered most of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
next we have the animation.
And as being Ghibli's animation is absolutely incredible in my opinion. Like you think of the forest scene and like the Mary Poppins type scene. Like it's so breathtaking. And like Totoro looks so fluffy, even though it's anime. 2D animation. And he looks so fluffy in the suit spirits. And they really were able to capture the Japanese countryside very well, in my opinion. Like it just felt that way. And, and like you were saying about the running, that I felt so childlike. They were able to capture so much life just out of 2D animations. I found it so good.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it just amazes me that this was all hand drawn animation. Every
100%. Yeah.
single moment
And
painted by
Cell.
hand in cell. Like that just absolutely blows my mind.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Completely, completely incredible.
And it's so beautiful too. It doesn't look like they cut corners or anything. It looks like they took the time.
hmm it does, yeah, completely.
Yeah.
hmm
Um yeah, unless we have anything else, we'll get into
Mm-mm.
the soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah, the
So,
soundtrack's also really good. I like the combination of actual vocal stuff and normal composition. Like, Ghibli doesn't really do much of a, a lot of lyrical type stuff and vocals. So it was definitely nice having that.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah. I was listening back to the soundtrack earlier, and what really struck me and what I think is a really great indicator of how if a soundtrack is really good is that listening to each piece, I felt like I could really visualize what part of the movie it was.
Right, yes, yeah, that's
And
true.
sometimes background music, you're like, "Oh, I don't remember that," or whatever. But each
Right.
song, a lot of it's orchestrated, and the main, like Totoro's main theme is a leitmotif that's just woven throughout all of it
hmm
so incredibly well.
Yeah, completely.
Um yeah, there's so many. I already mentioned the the opening song. I love the background song that plays when they're first along the countryside.
hmm
Um, um whenever they're with Totoro. Um, yeah, it's hard to mention a few because I just think the whole thing is incredible
Yeah,
from start to finish. There's so much personality. It really just elevates the sound design and the animation, and it all just comes together just so cohesively.
yeah. And it
And
just shows the amazing partnership between Joe Hisashi and Hayao Miyazaki. Like
yeah,
I can't think of a Ghibli movie without Joe Hisashi. He's such a great composer,
It
and
really
he's
is.
able to really compose music that fits the scenes and carries all of the emotion of it.
yeah,
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the greats up there with like John Williams and Hans Zimmer and
hmm
all of the great music composers we've had for movies.
Yeah.
yeah,
hmm Completely.
yeah. I'll just say if I had to pick a favorite from I like my favorite theme or one of my favorites by a lot is the cat bus theme when they first
Oh,
see cat bus. It
hmm
just like captures like the wonder of that moment so well
right.
and is one of the more um energetic pieces,
hmm
I think.
Yeah.
Um because a lot of it has more of this like mysterious feel to it.
Yeah.
And then cat bus just feels a lot more silly.
hmm
So I liked it for that. Um
Right.
but but yeah, completely agree that
hmm
yeah, just great. Like and I mean, that's just what's so great about basically every
Every
Ghibli
Ghibli movie.
movie is just the soundtrack's great, animation is just always top
Story.
tier. The story, of
And the
course.
story's always great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
So that kind of leads us into another listener question we had, back to Chrono Cringe. How does the movie hold up through a modern lens?
I
Very, very well.
Yeah, I feel it has definitely withstood the test of time,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's aged like wine. It has not aged like,
Yes.
and it just has gotten better with time.
Yeah, it has. It's not like recent movies or other 2D animation movies where it just aged poorly. Like it's so good. And yeah.
Yeah, if anything, I think time has only made it better because now, like, you can really see the attention to detail and the incredible, like, just how incredible the hand-drawn style
Hmm.
looks when you compare it to a lot of just a lot of the animation today.
Right.
Obviously all done on computers, and it's a lot easier to just make stuff that looks kind of cheap and
Hmm.
plasticky kind of feel to it.
Percent, yeah.
So then when you look at like the Studio Ghibli style, it's so like refreshing.
It is.
So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah. Ghibli just is in its own category. Like you can't compare it really to anything else. Like it's nowhere close. Like Disney's nowhere close to Ghibli. It's like the Disney movies, they're good, but they definitely haven't stood up to modern times,
Um
you know.
yeah.
Oh, some of them more than other or
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say like from a I think it's different like from a story perspective or whatever, but like comparing like the art styles of like classic Disney to Ghibli, I I think I prefer Ghibli cuz
Yeah, 100%.
I think like even though there is like classic Disney movies are very good, I think
Mhm.
there's more attention to detail in stuff like in just like all the extras and the background, and yeah, I think I would have to put Ghibli. I think Ghibli would win.
Mhm. Yeah,
Although
completely.
it's kind of hard to say that though. I feel like feels controversial.
Probably. We'll have the Disney adults coming after you.
Yeah, I'm a little scared right now. But um
Maddie, you're summoning Disney adults.
help.
What?
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah. And going on from this, another listener question from Presto is what's your least favorite Ghibli movie? And it's like, Ghibli is so good. How can you pick like the worst Ghibli movie?
Like I feel like it's a similar conversation in the Nintendo sphere that people have about the Legend of Zelda series when people love ranking, and you know, someone here
Hmm.
really likes this particular series a lot.
Right,
And
yeah.
I feel like the recurring conversation I hear when people are ranking those is it's like, well, the one on the bottom, like they're all good. Like they're all so good that we're just nitpicking at this point, like what
Hmm.
aspects we like of certain ones more than others. And so I feel like it's a
Right.
similar conversation with the Ghibli movies because
Hmm.
like they all have like their own personality,
Yeah.
and They all just bring something really just unique and great to the table. But
They
if I had to pick my least favorite, I'm sorry, because I think Beth likes this one. I'm sorry, but I think I have to say The Cat Returns.
No!
Because
No!
I don't I don't remember anything particularly. I don't know. It just it was a interesting spin-off movie.
You
Now
like
grant
you like Whisper of the Heart better?
Yeah. Well,
um
here's
probably because it felt more like a Ghibli movie.
here's the thing. There's Ghibli movies and there's Ghibli movies. There's Hayao Miyazaki, then there's his son. And when he was on hiatus, Ghibli the other directors tried to replace him. The Cat Returns and Tales from Earthsea. That's not Miyazaki, you know.
Oh yeah. I didn't okay. I didn't know The Cat Returns wasn't Miyazaki, actually. I don't think I knew
Mm-mm.
that. But that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
just looked it up.
From the Miyazaki films, then I would probably say how do you say it? Oh, Ariet. I don't know how to say it. Um,
Arrietty?
Ariety, Arietti. Yeah,
Arrietty. Yeah.
Arietti. Yeah, I
Mm,
watched it once a while ago, and it was cute, but it didn't overly stand out to me.
true.
So I think I'd have to go with that.
Yeah. I
What
guess
about
you're
y'all?
right, but I mean, my least favorite is Tale from Earthsea, but that's not a Miyazaki one. And I don't know. Oh, the Miyazaki films are also good.
Yeah.
And I guess I have to say Grave of the Fireflies because I'm so traumatized from it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I still haven't
like
seen
it's
it.
yeah, well it's so good. It's traumatizing in the end. Like
Yeah,
that's the best way I can describe it. And yeah.
yeah. What about you, Beth?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Out of the ones I've seen, I might get. I don't know. Out of the ones I've seen, it's probably Whisper of the Heart because I don't know. It was interesting, but I don't know. I think it's probably a Whisper of the Heart. I,
Yeah,
I was
Mm.
thinking maybe Spirited Away because it was okay, but it was a little.
I think I'm
I
dying.
Me too.
I think I've been stabbed a little bit.
So have I,
don't know.
yeah.
It was just a. I don't know. It was a bit weird for me.
Oh, spoken
Mm-mm.
like a true American.
I don't know. But then I like The Cat Returns, which is about a girl being forced to become a furry. So. um.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another question from Presto. Would you recommend Princess Mononoke?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I recommend all the Ghibli movies. Why? Yeah,
Even Earwig and the Witch.
you know. No.
I would have put that as. I'm surprised you didn't say that one was your least favorite.
Oh, I don't. It's not a Ghibli movie.
No. Oh.
No, I don't.
Well.
I don't consider that a Ghibli movie.
I forgot that existed.
I know. Non-Ghibli movie.
Yeah. I don't know if we should elaborate why we recommend Princess Mononoke. I feel like you should just watch it,
Just watch it.
but not with kids.
No.
Just,
Yeah.
it's a little intense.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke is on the same level of Grave the Fireflies. It's traumatizing and the animation is traumatizing.
Yeah. But it's a great story.
It
I need to
is.
watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
But
Same.
yeah, it's definitely one of the more
Mature ones.
violent. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
um we uh we did it for our Ghibli conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We survived.
Woo!
Yeah,
Um
it's belated, but we did it.
we did it. While we're still on the topic, Japan trip convo is not over because we have some other anime highlights we want to touch on before we're done? Like the
Oshinoko posters
Oh yeah, that was all
yeah,
over.
everywhere.
yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
I Yeah, and we went to the Seven Story anime store.
Anime building.
Yeah,
That was a
that
lot.
was insane.
That was overstimulating, yes.
Yeah, all the mangas.
Oh
They
my
even had
gosh.
English mangas. Like I got the Your Name mangas in English and a whole bunch of concept art books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that place was amazing.
The coolest thing to me that I saw there was the Violet Evergarden actual outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the record player.
Yes. Oh man.
We
If
wanted to
Oh
buy
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. I did. I yeah. Yeah.
And
I
Maddie
would have.
about went and bought it.
You know, they
Mm.
didn't have the you know it's bad when they don't have a price tag anywhere
Mhm.
nearby and it's in its own like enclosure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I decided, it was probably just a little out of my price range.
Just a little bit.
Just,
Yeah.
just a tiny bit.
Mhm. Probably for the best, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, yeah, they had lots of little things for like a lot of the mainstream anime
Mhm.
had
No, a lot
their own
of
sections.
yeah. Yeah, it was mainly just the mainstream stuff. So My Hero, Tech, um, Oshinoko, Frieren. Trying to think what else. Demon Slayer, a little bit Fire Force and Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really about it. But it was
I
definitely
think
cool to
yeah,
see
I
all
th-
of it.
I think the main appeal of that store is for the manga people because
100%.
that's what they had the most of for like
Mm-hmm.
anything you could imagine.
Yeah.
As opposed to the merch, it was cool, but
Mm-hmm.
not as much of a selection compared to the
No.
incredible amount of manga.
Mm-hmm. Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably started my new manga obsession. I'm debating buying manga now.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't need to go down that road, but I'm probably going to.
The only reason I literally can't, I literally don't have shelf space. Or I would. I can barely keep up with like putting my video games on display.
Oh no.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let alone manga and books. Too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the big thing that I knew we hadn't really talked about. Besides that, I think we've touched on everything.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
So,
completely.
yeah. Quickly,
So,
do you think it's cool to watch anime though, and especially with like Zom 100, and Oshinoko, and see like familiar places?
Yes,
mhm.
that part is so cool.
Like, oh wait, I know where that is.
Yes. Yeah, that part. Yeah, I like that part.
That's just the last quick thing I wanted to add.
Mhm.
Yeah. I I noticed that big time with Fruits Basket.
Mhm.
There's there's quite a bit. There's one
Yeah.
episode where they go on a trip to Kyoto
Oh,
and
yes, that's
they
right.
go to landmarks that we were
That
at, and
we've been to.
I need to watch the episode again because I had
Mhm.
watched it before the trip. Um, but yeah, that's really cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool to see.
Yeah, I'm
It
not ready. uh,
You go
Sorry.
ahead. Sorry. No, you're good.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm not ready for the Shibuya um arc in Jujutsu Kaisen because the, the Shibuya arc is one of the best, most traumatizing arcs from what I've seen. And like it's Shibuya, you know it's Shibuya.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be
Well,
cool.
that leads pretty well into our last segment of the show, which is
Mhm.
uh next up on Anime Brew. If you're keeping up with, you better be keeping up with what we're watching and covering
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
this month this month because this episode was a little delayed, we kind of had to figure things out, and so this month is stacked, y'all. I hope
Yeah,
you're watching lots of anime because
we're
yeah,
recording four episodes. It seems like in the month of September.
Yeah.
3, but yes, maybe
Yeah,
4 if we're getting ahead, but that wouldn't be released to the public
until right.
until I don't know anymore. But that doesn't matter. What matters now is that you guys need to know. So this episode, regard, I think I'm gonna edit this tonight. But regardless of when this episode drops, it's already scheduled. It's already coming. We have a new format of the show called Espresso Edition, Anime Brew
Mhm.
Espresso Edition. So be on the lookout. September 14th, Sign of Affection episode is dropping. And it's just a short little 30-minute episode. None of the extras. Like this episode is like 2+ hours
2 hours.
long. Yeah, this is a long episode. Not the case with this format. We just get straight into the show. We just talk about, we hit the points we want, and then we're done, and that's it. And that's just
Mhm.
quick work commute. Listen, done. So if you're interested, watch Sign of Affection. Our next
Mhm.
regular main episode is coming out later this month, end of September. I don't know when exactly, but sometime. We will be covering the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen, which we hinted at a few times.
Mhm.
Why else have we been watching this show? So,
Exactly.
so you should watch it too, because
Mhm.
we'll be covering that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's it. So, let's get into the outro and promote stuff. Beth, I'm very curious what
I
you do.
know.
I I think you host a podcast. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
I host. I don't know. You can find me talk with this crazy lady Maddie over on the Gamer Girl podcast.
Wow.
Which, yeah. We're recording an episode in the next couple weeks for that, so stick around. Also, I host a podcast called Milk and Cookies that I finally dropped the 3rd episode on. Past
Yay.
probably like a few weeks ago as I'm recording this. So if you like technology and baking, go check that out. Also, I stream and post videos on Maddie Beth 6 on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all the things. And I am almost done with my Japan vlog. Yes, it is like 3 months late, but 3 months late, it's fine. It's almost done though, so.
Editing is brutal, you know?
Yeah.
It is.
Especially when you have hundreds of photos to put into the video. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah! But hopefully it's not too brutal. I already have the script. I just need to put all the photos together. Need to sit down and do that all. So hopefully that's coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's everything I do.
Yeah. Well, apart from that, you can find me over on Purple Riolu streaming weekly. And and check out the Radio Chaos Discord where we talk about all the podcasts you just heard about, as well as Off the Wall. And I think that's I think that's literally all of them. And Glitchcast. But yeah, so gaming, anime, animation in general. We've got, if you want to talk about books, technology, we have everything's going on here.
We have a podcast that lasts 4 minutes as of the last episode. Hopefully we'll get 5 minutes soon.
That's right. Yeah. So definitely please join the Radio Chaos Discord. We are desperately wanting to get back to 100 members, and we are 2 people short. So if you're listening to this, you should totally join, because we need 100 members to continue on with our challenges that the hosts have to do. So, yes. And you can find this podcast, Anime Brew, on most places you find your podcast. And if there's a place you can't listen to that you would like this podcast to be on, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I think that's everything.
Yeah, it is.
So, with that, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for joining us, Beth.
Yeah, I had fun.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.